Last time you saw me, we worked on this guitar and I didn't have a mustache. Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. It's time to finish up some things on our Challenger project that we kind of skipped around video-wise and we did some other videos. So it's time to put some pickup routes in this guitar and radius the fretboard. And I've got a whole lot of other Challengers back here that are already done, so it's time to do this one. So enough of the bullshit talk, let's jump right in. We're gonna put a template on here and we're gonna route for P90s and then we're gonna radius the fretboard. So it's been a while since we worked on this guitar, but the good stuff hasn't changed. We still have the Hipshot trim that's going in it, and you guys decided that you wanted to see P90s on this guitar. So let's get our P90 template and we'll use our off-body alignment pins to put the template on here. And we'll go over to my beloved pin router, which we are already here, and we'll put them on. Now, a couple of things. Every so often, I like to put a little piece of double stick tape on the body and the template, not to align it, the pins do that, but just to kind of hold it on there, because what can happen is, you know, it can ride off of the pins. So let me get some double stick tape. We're just going to put a little tiny square on there. In fact, hardly any of it's actually on the template. That little tiny bit right there, that's enough. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the neck back in, which is fitted to the body. And we're going to route the front pickup location as well as part of the fretboard out, and it's going to look like $1,000,000. But as you can see here, look at this, we got a little bit of neck wiggle, which we want because if this was so tight that it locked it in place, when we added glue to this, it wouldn't fit in the neck pocket. So we're going to put a little bit of something down here to help hold it in place. In fact, I have a cool trick to show you guys. Back in the old days, the 80s, we used to do this trick called spot gluing. And I'm just going to put a little spot of glue in my neck pocket. And I'm actually going to set my neck in place and clamp it down. And I'm going to let that sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, and it will be strong enough to leave in place and do all the routing, but weak enough to where we can bust it out later without damaging the neck or the neck pocket. All right, it has been about 10 or 15 minutes. I can't really remember. So we're going to pull the clamp off and see if our spot glue did the trick. Seems pretty good. It only has to last for just a few minutes. Now the astute viewer might notice that I have my 1/4" pin in my pin router, but I have my 1/2" cutter. That means that we're going to take a little more off of the back end of the heel of the neck and take it down to just so it's level with the top. That'll give us a little shelf, which I think looks cool. That way the P90 is not butted directly up against the back of the neck. All right, little adjustment and we'll be good to go. So I don't know if you guys saw, but I was climb cutting through this part of my neck. I was coming this way and I was stopping right about here and I would climb through the other end. But I still got a little bit of tear out. Since I want that to stay there, I'm going to glue it back down now before it's too late. All right, so I'm just going to wick a little bit of super glue in here and then press the offending piece down with just the tip of a toothpick and hit it with a little accelerator, and hopefully I don't glue myself to my guitar. There we go, that looks pretty good. Okay, now the piece is glued back down again. We can continue cutting. So that looks pretty decent. It's actually a little more than 5/8, but no big shake. So now we can pull this out of the off of the pin, and we can actually break off the neck where it was spot glued, and I can show you guys what that looks like. Hopefully it doesn't make a big mess and prove me wrong. All right, so remember there's just one little dot of glue holding this in here, and it pops right off. See? No real issues with either the neck or the neck pocket. I'll tell you what, this soft maple is really fuzzy right through here because of the way the grain is. Get a load of that. See all these little fuzzies here? We'll break that off with sandpaper, or we'll just leave it there and give it to Chris to seal, and he'll be like, "Arr." No, he won't. He won't do that. But I want you guys to see something else. You see in here, because the Challenger is hollow, wiring is super, super easy. So getting our switch wires through the pickup wires down to our control cavity is mega, mega easy. And they're already in there, so it's no big deal to do. All right, let's do the other P90. I don't know what you guys were thinking, 2 P90s and a strap trim. That might be cool. All right, so it's time to put our radius on our neck, and we're going to use the Grizzly radius sander that we have modified. A bunch of people have asked me, will you sell me one of these cradles that you modified? And the answer is unfortunately no, we do not make them. We did not make this one, and I don't really know what happened to the guy who did, but it's a pretty straightforward operation, and plus you want it to fit your neck, not my neck. But yeah, it's just pieces of aluminum with the things that came from Grizzly, and we just screw it down to the necks just like this. So I've got some 60 grit on the radius sander now, and this is set at 10 because we can do 7 1/4, 10, 12, 14, or 16, or some combinations of those. I'd like to put 10 on all the Challengers because that's kind of the standard thing. So let's jump over to the radius sander and give it a quick radiusing. All right, the first thing we're going to do is get our neck set so that it's not actually touching anywhere. And we're going to use these fine tuner wheels to do that. Okay, now we're going to just get it to just about touch in the middle. Okay, and just kind of cheat it down here a little bit, and I think we're going to be okay. All right, let's set those dudes. Get our vacuum going and push it through. Okay, our neck is looking pretty good, but it's loaded with 60 grit scratches. So what we're going to do now is we're going to swap the belt on our Grizzly radius sander from 60 to 150, and we're going to make it look smooth, smooth. Smooth as my face. looks good. Let me pull it off of the stand here and show you all what I'm talking about. All right, we've got a couple more things we have to do before we're ready to call this guy done for this video. One of them is to drill the holes for all of the various controls and the trim and cut the little off-body alignment pins off and sand smooth. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to drill some 3/8 holes for the volume and tone controls. We're going to drill a 1/2 hole for the switch, and we're going to drill some 3/32 holes here just to kind of mark where the trim's going to go. These were easy to locate because of the off-body alignment pins that we got on our custom Maximum Guitar templates from Steve over at Maximum Guitars. So as you can see here, all of the holes are marked. I'm going to go ahead and drill all of them with the 3/32 bit, just a little bit into for the trim, so that when Chris goes to put this together later, he can chase it with exactly the right size bit, because if you don't, it gets full of paint and stuff like that. So we want to mark them though. But I will go all the way through with the 3/8 and the 1/2 And the reason I'm going to drill all the way through is so that I can flip the guitar on its top and drill into the body from the back. That way we won't have any chip out. Well, you'll see. So I've got my 3/32 bit chucked up into my drill press, and we're going to drill some holes. So you guys can see inside this the control cavity here, because our body is semi-hollow, there's a little bit of tear out, but because it's only 3/32, it's not a big deal. So now I'm going to go into this area with a 3/8 bit from this side, and we won't have any tear out on the top because we're going to be on top of our MDF here. Well, actually, we did get a little bit of tear out, but it's not too bad. That's all going to get covered up with knobs. So a lot of people have been asking me, when do you remove these off-body alignment pin holes? Some of you clowns have been saying stuff like, is that a new strap locking system? No, it's not. Okay, as soon as you are absolutely 100% sure that you don't need to use the template sets anymore, that's the time to remove the off-body alignment pin holes. So let's see, I've got all my controls here, got all my pickups, got my neck blank, got my trim route. It looks good, got all my other things, control cavities, control cavity cover, recesses, things like that. I think we are good to go. So now is time to cut off the off-body alignment pin little nubs there, and I've drawn some lines, and I'm going to go over to my bandsaw and trim them out, and then I'm going to go to the sander and smooth it out. So I think that should wrap us up for today's video. I know we've been making a bunch of long videos, but we're really busy here in the shop, so we might have to do a couple of short ones. However, we did cover a bunch of cool territory in this video, and I showed you some neat tricks. And if the video isn't super long, you won't have to look at this absurd mustache for any more time than absolutely necessary. So in the upcoming videos, we're going to fret the neck, and we're going to put side dots on, not necessarily in that order. We're going to shape the neck. We still need to get a radius on the back and break the edge on the top, and and then get the neck carved, and this guy will be ready for glue up, and we'll give it to Chris, and then he'll be making some videos where he talks to you guys about what he's doing with this Challenger and I think it's going to be really cool. So let's see. So we have a couple of P90s. We have a pretty cool Strat trem. We have a nice chunk of rosewood here. Fairly cool maple top. But there are some funky little things about the maple top, which I don't mind, but I'd like to hear what you guys think about what color you think this should be. I am a super fan of sunburst, but a solid color would be cool too. So yeah, guys, don't forget to check out the Amazon store and buy all the stuff that you buy from Amazon from our link, and we get a little taste of that and help us grow the channel that way. If you like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you appreciate content like this, you might want to go over to our Patreon page, or you can sign up and join the channel on YouTube and join, I guess it's Utreon, I'm not sure what it is, and help us support the channel monetarily. That way, I don't know if you can hear in the background, Chris is doing a little rocking out, testing some guitars. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping us bring you guys neat stuff like this. But if you can't do that, don't sweat it. Just like the video, share the video as many places as you possibly can think of, and help us grow the channel that way. So until next time, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that with great mustache comes great responsibility. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care.